Hi guys, this is Vicki. I wanted to share with you a project I'm going to be working on. I'm going to show you what I'll be using. This is a wreath that I got from craftoutlet.com, and it's a working wreath, and I like these kind of wreaths that have these twist ties on them. They're easier for me to work with, and I'll be using this. I like the red. I've got this deco mesh that I got from Hobby Lobby, and some cute little embellishments that I'll be using to put on the wreath. These here to maybe go in there. Variety of ribbon to put in there. I'm not sure what I'll be using, but this is just to kind of give me an idea of ribbon. Let's get started. I use the wreath, I leave it up like this. You can either do it this way, but I do it this way. And I turn these up and get them all straight. And these are very inexpensive. They're about $6.99 through craftoutlet.com. I let this here, I'm going to drop it to the ground because it's easier for me to work that way. So it's dropped. And let's see. I get a piece of it, maybe about enough to leave a little tail, and you can start anywhere on this wreath that you want. And I'm going to start on the outside. This is where I start, and I'll get it and I'll tie it down in here and give it a good twist. And I tuck this under, and what I do afterwards, I'll clean that up when I'm done, and I'll put some zip ties on it to hold it down nice and firmly. You can use pipe cleaners, but I like using the zip ties. I don't want it to fall out or come out. And what I do is I'll get this and I'll measure. Since I kind of want it big, I might do 12 inches or 13. I'll do 13 inches. So I measure from here and I get this tight. I'm trying to get this in the camera so y'all can see it. Get it tight. And so I measure 12 from the end to the tip. And then I'll add another inch. So I pull it just a little bit out. And then I connect it. And I measure because I want the poofiness, or these fluffed things, I want them to be even. You don't have to measure. You can, just kind of eyeball it if you want, if you're good at doing that. But I just like it to be neat and even. So I'll do this and I give it a couple twists. And so I go to my next one and I measure out again from the edge here. That's 12. Then I go one more inch, just a little bit. I'm doing 13 inches, and I tie it into the next one. Hope you can see this. Okay. And then I go on to the next one. I'll just do this last one. But I am going to measure out 12 inches again. Then I add an inch. And then just pull it out about a little bit more, an inch. Kind of fluff that out. And then tie it in to this one. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna stop right here. I'm gonna fill in the rest, and then when I get ready to do the second row, I will come back and show you how I do the second row. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm down to, I just did the last tie here, and I'm right back where I started in the beginning. So I'm gonna make another loop here. Okay, so there's that. And I'm gonna untwist the tie where I started and stick that in there all the way down. And I'm gonna give it a nice good twist. Okay, so now I can start here on the second row. As you can see, I've got these lifted up, and I can go to this one or I can go to this one. Okay, so I've decided I'm gonna go this way. I'm gonna go to the closest twist tie here, and I am going to bring it in and see how it's where I started here, and I'm just carrying this over here into the second row, this twist tie, get it down in there nice and tight, give it a twist, and now I'm going to start back and do my counting or my measuring, and I'm measuring 13 inches again and bringing it out. So I'm going to go into this loop, into this next twist tie, put it in there, twist it up. Okay, I'm going to go on to the next one, and I'll go to where I come to the end, and I'll come back and show you how I finish it off. Okay, so now I'm coming to the end, and I'm coming into that last twisty where at the last twisty here on the second row, and I am coming into this one where I started on the second row. So I'm going to tie it in to this last bow, to this last twisty. I untwist it and then twist it back, and I twist them pretty tight, but I don't twist them too tight because I'm going to be adding stuff to these twisties, and I'm gonna cut off some of this. We're gonna leave a little bit of a tail so we can anchor it or tie it down. Okay. Okay, so now I cut this off right here, and I left a little bit of a tail, and I'm gonna tuck it underneath, underneath this, and then I'm gonna make sure I can pull it out. And if you can see, here's my other one that I started, and then here is the one I just finished. And what I'll do is I'll go get some zip ties, and I will zip tie this here to the frame. Okay, so now those are nice and tight, and I try to move them behind so they don't scratch doors or whatever, or do that. So now they're in there. Okay, so I turn this back around, and then there is the wreath. But here's the wreath, and you can go in and fluff up however you want, but I will finish that in a little bit. Now here's the fun part where you can add your ribbon. Some red, these maybe, and this will really make it pop. So let me figure out which ones I'm gonna do. I'll be right back. Okay, I have cut my ribbon out. I plan on putting the ribbon in each twisty. I only had 3 pieces of this and I didn't want it to go to waste, so I figure I'd somehow tie it in there, maybe every other or in the inner circle of the wreath. I'll use that. So let me see if I can put one of these ribbons together. I figure I would use the blue and this and a red. I thought that's a cute combination. And I cut these at 15 inches only because these poofs are kind of big and I want them to hang out of the wreath. So I'm going to start on my inner and I'm going to gather them and just kind of make them in an X. We'll start with this one here. I'm going to untie it and I place it down in there and I give it a good twist. And then you can just kind of straighten these out. Yeah, I like how that looks. And I try to use ribbon that has the wire in it because it's more easy to make it go or shape it the way you want it. So I've got that one there, and let me do another one. Let's do one like this and let's see how that looks. No, I think maybe the blue. Let's see. Yeah, I think the blue makes it stand out better. So we'll do the blue. So I'm gonna skip one here and maybe 2, and then I'm gonna put it right in with this one here. Again, I'm gonna untie this twisty and stick it in down at the bottom and then give it a good twist. So I got that. And the a little bit longer ribbon will also fill in the gaps too. Okay, so there we go. You see it here on the inner. I did 3. Oh, and when I had cut my ribbon, this is how you clean them up and you do these ducktails. You get it like this, fold it in half, get your scissors, and then you cut it diagonal, because if you cut it the other way, you're going to have a point. So you cut it diagonally, and then you get this. You get this clean look right here. So I did that. Okay. And so now I'm going to go on the outer ring. I'm going to do the outer rings. I'm going to undo a twisty, so if I can get into the camera, and pin that down and give it a twist. All right. And it's in there. Okay, now I have finished my wreath. I put all my ribbon in all the twisties, and I added those little pom-poms to them. And I have made a bow, and here it is. And I attached it with a wire to the wire frame of the wreath. The wreath is 24 inches wide and 7.5 inches long. So I was going to put a sign there, and I had it on there, but it got lost in the wreath. It didn't stand out. So I'm just going to leave that for now the way it is for Memorial Day. Maybe later in the future I will try and do a video on how I made my bow. That's my tutorial on how I make my wreath. Hope it was easy to follow. I tried to make it where you could see everything. But I thank you guys for watching, and bye for now.